Hey guys. Alright, it is day 6. This report's coming a little later than usual. Had a bit of a crazy night. Um, I went and visited a friend in Queens, which was really fun. And because of the curfew, there's a citywide curfew because of like the riots and stuff that have been going on. I had to, I had the opportunity to just stay there last night, which was really cool. And it was fun just being able to talk to like people who I actually like really enjoyed and get along with, and it was nice because I'd forgotten what that was like really getting along with like really level-headed people, non-dramatic, and I don't know, just sort of their heads were on a little straighter than I think I've been traditionally used to and accustomed to, sort of in the environment I'm in. It was really nice. So, did that. Hung out with my friend. He's just a total baller. I met him when I actually first moved into the hostel here, and yeah, we get along really, really well. It was a good match. He's from Virginia, and he wants to be a comedian. Or rather, he is a comedian. He's just practicing. Yeah. Yeah. As for me, today, I played on my piano for the first time, which was super fun, and went through. I'm doing Flowkey, which is an app, to like practice, and that's been really fun. And I'm practicing that, and I'm super excited for that. And one of the biggest things, I was listening to this video by this guy David Tien, and he talked a lot about like the flow state and how important that it is to obtain the slow state and learn how to live in it, because that makes us not only more attractive but also just we carry more power in our lives. And I think one of the biggest, what do I say, the objectives of what I'm doing here is I want to know what a life built around obtaining flow state and sustaining that as much as possible. And I think that's sort of the major change that's going to be happening in my brain and in my mind and my heart and everything. Just that change of flow, right? And as I said, I'm definitely doing a lot better than I used to. And I think I generally do a pretty good job, but I can see kind of this next level of skill attainment and just sort of fun and joy that I can have. It was funny actually because I'd been wanting to go to the park. There's this girl that I've seen running in there, and I wanted to see her. Um, I think I talked about it. It's kind of silly, but I was sleeping in my bed, just took a little nap, and I got up, and I got to this point where I was just in such a good mood that I didn't need to do anything. And this has been happening a lot lately, where I'll just be, and I'll just be like completely happy. Like I don't need to be doing anything. I don't need anything playing. I just don't need anything. I just feel very fully and completely content. And that's been happening a few times a week now, right? And it's happening more and more. There's this part of me that is a little scared that it'll happen too much and I'll just become like an unproductive piece of like mess. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying it because there's just times when I can just be and my brain isn't going off, and there's just, I don't know, there's just this insane stillness, and it's been happening a lot, especially this last week. It started happening just kind of out of nowhere and just hitting me where I just have these moments where I would just be sitting and like, or like laying in my bed, or like looking out the window, or looking at a book, or not even reading a book, but just being like not really doing anything, and I'm just like, whoa, and it's really really nice. um, which is interesting because usually my brain and everything is usually running at 100 miles per hour, and I just feel like there's a lot of space now in me. And every now and then it'll come up, be like, should we be doing something, isn't something supposed to be happening? And it's like, yeah, no, like we're good, let's just chill for a second. And it's a really nice place to be in. It's super hot here in New York right now. The humidity is killing me, but it's been fun and I've been really enjoying it. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up early and do sort of my weekly planning, and I got set up all my fruit bowls for the week, which was really fun. And then, just kind of got my week set up, and I'm starting to get into a bit of a routine here. There's this part of me that gets a little annoyed um, still when I go outside and like have to encounter other people. Not like outside, but like just like the people I live with, because there's some that I really, really enjoy, and others that I find very vexing. And I realize I need to, learn how to kind of stay focused and not necessarily let that bother me, but also, work super hard so that I'm financially robust enough that I can just have my own place, right? And so I don't necessarily have to share my energy or my space with people who are unwanted and unwelcome, right? But for the time being, I have to embrace the opportunity for what it is, and I am grateful for that. I really am. And it was really good just being able to go visit those guys in Queens and be around so many people and be in a group of people who were just, I don't know, very honest, very vulnerable, and not necessarily perfect, and not trying to act like they were perfect. And it was just so nice because there was no posturing, and there's no freaking drugs, which was really nice. I'm not a huge fan of drug use. And yeah, so that was a really big deal for me. And so I definitely I realized one of the things I'm really missing, like going throughout the day, is really more intimate connection. And obviously, like I have my friends and people that I call and stuff, and I've been using that. It's getting a little tough not having that like personal friends to spend time with. So being able to go to Queens was really nice. It's tough because they're all the way in Queens, but I can visit and make a habit out of it, and it's fine because I think part of progressing and moving my life forward is I had to learn to maintain different spheres of influence. Kind of like the sun, The sun has all the planets and those different radials all around it, right? And there's some that are in the sweet spot, like Earth, and some are a little bit far and cold, like Mars. And some are just giant gas balls, like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And you got the ones that are a little too close, and they fry, like Venus and Mercury. But if you can take the heat, whatever. I think everyone, has their own kind of way of doing it. I always feel like I was a binary star that never had another star with it. So there is still that sense of loneliness, but it doesn't bother me as much, and I'm not as consciously aware of it. There are times when like I get knocked out of the flow state, or right when I finish an activity or about to start one, where that feeling kind of comes, but I'm now just getting to past, like just moving past it, but I'm accepting it now. I think before there was always this side of denial and this mental gymnastics that would happen every time I felt that, where now I can just accept, like, yeah, you're lonely, like that's okay, you know what I mean? And just recognizing that is part of my condition. I realize the things I need to try and alleviate that, and I'm making the progress, right? Like I'm doing the things that I need to. But I think it's also like learning not trying to do so much. There's this concept in Taoism called Wu Wei, and I've been trying to practice it lately. There's this girl actually that I talked to a while ago, and I talked to her like 3 times. Nothing was really working, and it was funny because I saw her again, and my natural reaction would be like, go talk to her, and then I was just like, dude, like, and I was coming. Oh, fudge. Blah. Sorry. So I was on my skateboard and I was crossing by her, and it's just interesting because I realized that I don't even think she saw me. Like, and I was just thinking, like, yeah, like she can't see me. Like she's kind of in her own thing, and she can't really see me. So even if I go present myself to her, she can't ever really see me for what I'm all about, and there's no interest there. And I think I'm just starting to accept that more. There was this sense of like, before, oh, I need to do more and stuff, but more and more lately, I've just been really satisfied with who I am, and just, I don't know, less inclined to kind of prove it to anybody else. And it's a little tough because you want to be in a space where people can see you and people are curious. And I think especially when people don't have those dispositions of curiosity and, kindness and all those nice dispositions that create a friendly environment, and they have their guards up constantly. I think it can lead to a lot of isolation, and I think that's why a lot of people feel a lot of isolation. Now, I've had and developed the skills to kind of break that down and work through it, but I'm in a space in my life where I don't really want to do that anymore, right? I don't want to have to feel like I'm always carrying all the relationships I have in my life. I want to feel like there's a sort of a give and receive, right? I want to feel like I'm just being open and things are coming to me versus constantly having to pull down at the tree or whatever. And I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing because there are people who kind of reaching out and who are caring about me. I realize like generally people reaching out and calling and being mindful of people who are in other states and far away, unless there's a substantial bond. I don't think I have too many people who necessarily go out of their way to do that, but I mean, I'm living with it. I'm living with it and I'm managing it, and I have the things that I can kind of do. I'm recognizing that I'm doing these things because I want to do them and build myself, and I'm trying not to distract myself from the loneliness, even though there is a little bit of a hint of that. And they're actually having like a bit of a house party today at the house, and there's this part of me that's like feeling really prideful because the host is like my roommate, and I really just feel like, yeah, if I see her, I would just kind of like verbally eviscerate her. And I don't necessarily want to put her on that spot, but I don't want to necessarily feel like I have to pretend to be anybody at a party either. Because like if I saw her like and there was people around, I would literally just be like, yeah, I do not like this person, and like I don't know, I'm not mature enough and at a space where I can be in the same room with someone like that, still hold cordiality, while there's that sort of that personal interconnectedness. The wound is just a little fresh, and I'm just not there. I'm just not there. And obviously, I do want to connect. I would like to go to the party and like kind of hang out with and meet some new people, especially because they invited some neighbors. One in particular who I was kind of interested in, but I don't know. I'm not gonna put myself through something difficult to get anything anymore. Like I'm just gonna be living my life because I deserve a good life, and I don't think I have to like struggle or be go through pain anymore because I've done the work. And so it's not like that you're always finished, but it's just like the nature of life and the nature of how things go, it changes. And I realize that this suffering and this misery, like that's something I've left behind. And so it's good, and I know things will work out. Like it's little by little, and there's been a lot of good omens lately, and I've had a lot of good intentionality as I wake up in the morning. So I think it's just a matter of, okay, tomorrow it's going to be the first week, and Charisma on Command is interesting because it's a 30-day program, but they divide it up into 5 weeks, 6 weeks rather, 5 days. And a part of me was thinking like whether or not I should just do something every day or just do the 6 week ways and take off the weekend. And I think I'm gonna take the weekend off just so that I have more space emotionally and mentally to kind of think and decompress and kind of get my schedule locked down. But there's a lot going on, so I've got to keep going and moving the chains there. And now that I got the piano, I've got to make sure to kind of integrate that into the schedule. The biggest thing is just learning and figuring out how to stay in flow for as much as possible while, I don't know, kind of exploring myself in different expressions in as many different ways as possible. And I think understanding what the objective of Project Flying Eagle is will bring some clarity, so I think I'll ponder on that, and tomorrow I'll be making that video as well as, the Day 7 report. Anyway, this is the Day 6 report for Operation Flying Eagle. Random reflections for a week well done. So, hope everyone's well, stay happy, stay healthy. Peace.